everyone, today I'm here to do the end of the year survey. It's all stemmed from Jamie, who runs the Perpetual Page Turner. She also runs the Broken the Bookish, which does the top 10 Tuesdays. I love Jamie so much, and I love that she came up with this concept. She did not update one for 2016, but I'm just using the 2015 one, so I think she's just going to keep the questions the same though. But I'm still very excited to do it, and I will say, in fair warning, this is going to be a long video. There is a lot of questions, like probably 30 or so questions on here talking about my reading year as a whole. Just as a fair warning, this is going to be a super long video, so if you want, watch half of it, come back tomorrow, sit yourself down with some, hot cocoa or popcorn or cookies, whatever you want to do. Just know that it's going to be super long, but there's a lot of awesome books to talk about, and so just know that it's going to be long. So like I said, this is going to be the end of the year survey, so this is really all these questions are going to cover my reading year as a whole. And questions are obviously going to be different for genres and stuff like that, but this covers my 2016 reading year as a whole. The first question is the number of books you read this year, and I want to say it's 62 or 63. I think it's fair warning, I am filming this a week before 2016 ends, but I'm pretty sure I'm not going to finish a book anymore, so I want to say it's 62. The next question is number of rereads, and I have 5 for that. The last 4 books in the Harry Potter series, and I also reread Dash and Lily's Book of Dares this year as well, so I have 5 rereads this year. And the next question is genre you read the most from, and I actually did a tally for this. So my number one most genre I read from this year, if you can believe it, is fantasy. I read 21 fantasy books this year. What? My next genre, are you ready for this as well, is adult fiction. I read fantasy the most, then adult fiction. Who am I? I read 19 adult fiction books, and my last genre I read from the most is going to be contemporary, and I read 10 contemporary. If you, like me, thought that contemporary would be at the top of the list, I am just as shocked as you are, because I usually read a ton of contemporary, but I decided to change that this year, and it's my least read this year, so. The first question is the best book you read in 2016. I have a video coming out this week all about my top 10 reads from 2016, so I'm only going to share 2 with you. My favorite reads, and you don't know what order they're in. They're just 2 of my favorites. Ooh, that's intrigue for you to tune in more in my next video. But of course, one of my favorites was A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas. I love this book. Amazing. And another one of my favorites from 2016 is Vicious by V.E. Schwab. Again, amazing. Question is book you were excited for and thought you were going to love more but didn't. This one's gonna definitely have to be Passenger by Alexandra Bracken. This is actually the first book I read this year. I thought I was gonna love it so much more than I did. I really ended up just liking it, and I was expecting to love it, but I didn't, honestly. The next question is most surprising. It could be either a good surprise or a bad surprise read in 2016. For this one, I'm gonna have to go with My Lady Jane by Cynthia Hand, Brody Ashton, and Jody Meadows. I was expecting to like this book. I was very surprised how much I liked it. Like, I loved this book. It is so amazing. It was so funny, so satire-y, so witty. I just fell in love with this book, and I was very surprised by it. As well as Three Dark Crowns by Kendar Blake. Again, I expected to like this book. I didn't expect it to love it as much as I did. So both of these were amazing surprises of books that I love that I was not expecting to love. The next question is book it says you pushed the most people to read and did. This one, I don't know, you guys would have to tell me, but I feel like the one I pushed a lot this year, Wolf by Ryan Granted, because I was so pleasantly surprised by this book. It's a historical fiction book, and I just loved it, and I really recommended this to a lot of people, and hopefully I think people read it. I'm not sure, you would have to let me know about it, but I'd say this is one I recommend a lot. It is like 3 questions in one. So the first one is best series you started in 2016, best sequel, and best series ender. So as far as best series I started in 2016, I'm gonna have to give that to Lady Midnight by Cassandra Clare. This is the first book in the Dark Artifices series. This is my favorite first book by Cassandra Clare. I've read City of Bones. I wasn't in love as much as I did. I really like Clockwork Angel, but I will say this is my favorite first book of hers. I love the way this series started. It's definitely my favorite series starter in 2016. It's best sequel, of course, A Court of Mist and Fury. It was just, again, like I said, amazing. And best series ender would have to be The Raven King by Maggie Stiefvater. I love this book. I love this series, and I am so sad that it's over. Like, oh, so sad. I'm very sad it's over, but it was an amazing book. The next question is favorite new author you discovered in 2016. For this one, I'm gonna have to go with Leanne Moriarty. And while none of her books made my favorite list, spoiler warning, I still really enjoyed her books. I want to say I read either 4 or 5 by her. I learned that I loved her writing style and her stories. And while they're not the best books I've read, they are very engrossing and I can read them very quickly and I do enjoy them. So I'd have to say Leanne Moriarty, I'm really excited I discovered her. As well as V.E. Schwab. Like I said, Vicious was an amazing book and I'm so glad I read it to discover my love for V.E. Schwab, and I just need to read more of her. The next question is best book from a genre that is out of your comfort zone, one that you generally don't read from. This one I'm gonna have to go with The Girl on the Train by Paula Hawkins. I love this book. This was my first thriller mystery book and I really was pleasantly surprised by it. A lot of people don't love it, but I really enjoyed it and I thought it was great. It was kind of scary, but not too scary, which is perfect for me. Next question is the most action-packed / thrilling / unput-downable book of the year. I mean, Empire Storms, there's a lot going on in this book and it was very action-packed. I wouldn't say it would be the most action-packed, but there's so many to choose from, so I'm just gonna pick one at random, and this will be this one. This book you read in 2016 and are most likely to reread in 2017. For this one, I'm gonna have to go with The Sun Is Also a Star by Nicola Yoon. I beyond love this book, and I will gladly reread it in 2017. I might make it a priority. So good. The next question is favorite cover of a book you read in 2016. This one, I'm gonna go with Heartless by Marissa Meyer. This is actually the Owlcrate exclusive cover. I do like the black cover as well, but I love this color combination. I feel like it is just my favorite book cover of the whole year, which is hard to say because there are literally so many amazing book covers. And even though I did not enjoy Passenger that much, again, beautiful cover. These two favorite covers of the year, hands down. Next question is most memorable character of 2016. This one I'm cheating and going with 2, but they're within the same book. Is Safi and Isolde. I want to say, hopefully I pronounced that right, probably didn't, but they're in Truth Witch by Susan Dennard, and I love this book and I love the relationship, and they were definitely some of my favorite characters of the entire year. It's most beautifully written book of 2016, and again, this is a hard one because a lot of these books are very beautifully written. I have to say, definitely Vicious by V.E. Schwab. I love the way she writes. It is beautiful, as well as The Raven King by Maggie Stiefvater. I am obsessed with her writing. Her writing style is, I don't want to say flowery, but it's just so beautiful. I would pay her, if I had money, and I don't, to write a book about my life because my life is boring as mess, but she would make it sound amazing. Does that make any sense? But both of these authors, very beautiful writing. The next question is most thought-provoking / life-changing book of 2016. This one, definitely thought-provoking for sure, 100%. It's going to be Small Great Things by Jodi Picoult. This made me realize a lot of things about racism, things that I was doing wrong, things I was not aware of. It really opened my eyes and really changed my perspective on a lot of things. So I love this book and I thought it was amazing, and it's just very, very thought-provoking book, very thought-provoking. The next question is book that you cannot believe that you waited until 2016 to read, and there's probably a lot of these on this list. Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. I waited so long to read this book. I don't know why. I love this book. I wouldn't say it's one of my ultimate favorites, but I did really enjoy it, and I cannot believe I waited this long to read it. The next question is favorite passage / quote from a book you read in 2016, and I left this one blank because if I'm honest with you, I'm just not sure. Question is shortest and longest book you read in 2016. And for this one, the longest book I read was Lady Midnight. That was 698 pages. And the shortest was Talking as Fast as I Can by Lauren Graham. That was only 224 pages, which is insane. I needed that one to be longer. It should have been longer. The next question is book that shocked you the most. This one, I'm going to go with Three Dark Crowns by Kendra Blake. The ending of this book completely shocked me. I did not expect it at all. I love the ending, and it just shocked me the most. As well as Wolf by Wolf. Both of these books had insane cliffhangers, and they both shocked me. I will say I was shocked more probably with Wolf by Wolf than Three Dark Crowns. At fantasy books, you're kind of expecting that. This one, I was not expecting that. They both shocked me immensely. The next question is OTP of this year. I mean, there's nothing to say. Nothing to say. Favorite book from 2016 that you've read from an author that you've read previously. So there's a lot of these books that I've read by the authors previously. Raven King was one. The Sun is Also a Star. Sarah J. Maas's books. Lady Midnight. I mean, you can pick any one of these. They were all amazing. And they all have been authors I've read previously. The next question is favorite non-romantic relationship from a book in 2016. This one I'm gonna have to go with The Gang of Six of Crows. Like, there are romantic relationships within that gang, but overall them as a whole, I really loved them. I thought they were just a great ragtag, you know, crazy bunch of misfits almost. I did really enjoy their relationship a lot. And the next question is best book you read in 2016 that you read based solely on a recommendation from somebody else / peer pressure. 100% peer pressure, 100% peer pressure. But good peer pressure, I guess. Newest fictional crush from a book you've read this year? I'm not gonna say anything. Best 2016 debut that you've read, and I was very shocked that I think I've only read one debut, which is a horrible thing for me to even say because that's just horrible. I'm pretty sure the only debut I read this year was Rebel of the Sands by Alwyn Hamilton. While it is an amazing book, this is the only debut I think I read this year, so shame on me, I know. Best world building / vivid setting you read this year. For this one again, I'm gonna have to go with Three Dark Crowns by Kendall Blake. I loved the world she built in this book. It was just phenomenal. Like, it was so amazing the way she did it. It was a hierarchy and I loved it. The next question is book that put a smile on your face and was the most fun to read. And for that one, I'm going to go with Talking as Fast as I Can by Lauren Graham. I don't have it with me right now, but I really liked it. It made me laugh out loud a lot. Again, it was very, very short, so that's the only qualm I have about it, but I did really have a lot of fun reading it, as well as My Lady Jane. Both amazing, both made me laugh. The next question is book that made you cry in this year. And for this one, hands down, A Man Called Uva by Fredrik Backman. Hopefully I said that right. I probably didn't, but this one definitely made me cry a lot. It is a very beautiful book. So beautiful. I recommend this one to everybody. And the movie of it is just as amazing. The next question is hidden gem of the year. And this is hard because I feel like I do read some hidden gem books, but the one that I thought for in particular is going to be The Bookshop Around the Corner by Jenny Colgan. This is just I'd say a chick lit type of book, but I really enjoyed it, and I don't think a lot of people have read it, but I really liked it, and I thought it was a huge hidden gem. It's all about a woman that opens up a mobile bookshop, which if you love books, please read this because it is amazing, and it will make you fall even more in love with books because you're reading about a character that loves books and wants to help people find books, and it's just an amazing, and I would definitely say it's a hidden gem of the year for sure. The next question is book that crushed your soul. Again, no words, no words. This one really crushed my soul. The last 100 pages crushed my soul. Like, it just obliterated my soul. The next question is book that made you most mad. Doesn't necessarily mean you didn't like it though, which I like that she put that in there. This one that did make me mad, but it doesn't mean I don't like it. It's gonna have to be Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. I was reading this, and a lot of times I got very mad reading this. But I don't hate this book, but I don't love it. I'm just still very much on the fence about it. But I'll be honest with you, it did make me mad a lot. One book that you didn't get to in 2016, but you are making it your first priority in 2017. The Young Elites trilogy. I'm making this a freaking goal this year to read this trilogy. Like, this is going to be one of my first priorities when it starts to read. When 2017 hits, like, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. The next question is book you're most anticipating for 2017, and this is non-debut. I actually have a video all about this, so I'll link it right here. I talked about like 10 or 15 of them, so I have so many I literally can't say right now, but definitely watch the video if you want to learn more about what books I really am anticipating for 2017. And speaking of 2017, what debut are you looking most forward to? That is definitely gonna have to be Spindlefire by Lexa Hill, I wanna say. It's like a really creepy, it's a creepy retelling of Rapunzel, which sign me up. I'm excited for that one. And I know there's so many more amazing debuts that I just literally have no clue about. Series ending / a sequel you're most anticipating in 2017. Horde of Wings and Ruin. It's gonna freaking wreck me, but I cannot wait for it to wreck me. Does that sound weird? I know it's gonna wreck me and destroy me, but I can't wait for it to. So that was the end of the year survey for 2016. Again, I know it was a super long video. I hope you guys enjoyed it though and got to know more information about why I liked particular books and stuff like that. I really loved this whole survey. I thought it was great. I loved all the questions in it, how it really went into in depth about the reading you've done. So I'm also thinking about doing a 2016 reading wrap up, letting you know what genres I read the most from, talking about my reading year as a whole, not particularly specific books like this book, like this video was. So if you're interested in that, let me know. If not, I might not film it. So let me know if you are interested in just a 2016 reading wrap up, basically, like just talking about reading as a whole. But like I said, I really enjoyed filming this and I loved all the questions in it. Now it's gonna be the tedious process of cleaning up all of these books because they're just everywhere. They're everywhere. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and hit subscribe, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.